Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
There's Mr. Enfuego, one half of the Baseball Junkies podcast. Before we get the show going, we just want to make sure that both you, the viewer, and the listener are fully aware that this podcast is not intended to provide any form of investment advice. The opinions expressed here by either the host or any guest do not necessarily reflect the views of any sports card investor, organization, and or entity within the sports card market. Any discussion of sports card values in the past or present is not a guarantee of future performance. Two collectors with a common love of baseball cards. A league of her own, Mr. Enfuego. Welcome to the Baseball Junkies podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Baseball Junkies podcast. I'm your host, Adrian from A League of Her Own on YouTube.
And I'm your boy, Mr. Enfuego, also from YouTube.
My Lord, it feels like forever.
It's been forever.
I know. I took that week off. I went to the MLB All-Star game. It was easily one of the best times of my life, but I'm very happy to be back doing the podcast with you guys. Shoot, we got some stuff to talk about tonight. Oh, yeah. And we have a special guest.
Yeah, we do.
Coming up soon. Mr. Enfuego, how's your past week been and such?
It's been going. Just, hanging out, doing stuff. Looking forward to getting back on the road with this podcast thing,
Me as well. I cannot wait. So let's get into it. I'm pretty excited to talk about some things. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the upcoming releases.
Let's do it.
All right. I think the biggest upcoming release, the one I'm most excited to talk about, is 2023 Topps Chrome, which I wasn't expecting to see any videos on it this week, but probably a lot of our viewers have seen the real popular Striker Breaks. Dropped a video today opening 10 blasters of 2023 Topps Chrome, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
I was genuinely impressed.
I was too. The quality control looked good. The pinks and sepias.
The inserts was on point.
Everything. I was really excited about it. It's a beautiful design. Like I said, the quality control was looking good. The pinks that come out of the blasters, you get two pinks and two.
You get two
sepias.
pinks and two sepias.
And those pinks, man, they are popping this year.
Yeah.
Really, he. Out of 10 boxes, he pulled one auto. I think the one thing I noticed, he got a lot of cool inserts, got all the pinks. I don't think he pulled a single numbered card.
No, there were no singles, sadly.
He talked about it being a little bit watered down, but I think if they hold true to what we saw, like worked on the quality control, because it was an issue last year, and they did such a good work on the designs. I think this product, I'm so excited about it. I cannot wait. So this is more of a product review that we're talking right now, but it was supposed to be an upcoming release. I've got, the release date is next Wednesday. I'm sure a lot of influencers and certain people will get some of this earlier, and you're going to start seeing videos of it dropping. I've got a couple jumbos in the hobby coming next week. So I'm excited for this product. I also saw some openings of, let's see, Panini Prism. You know what? I'm already talking about product reviews. This is upcoming releases. 2023 Panini Prism came out as well. We saw Tribute come out the past week or so.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a minute we don't have. Oh, you know what is coming up is the 2022 Topps Chrome Anniversary is releasing soon. Finally. Allen and Ginter is coming out soon. That did drop on Topps for pre-order last week, 2 weeks ago. So those are
some. Right now, AG is scheduled to drop on the 2nd, along with the complete factory sets. So for those of you who don't like chasing and you just want the whole set one time, one shot, get them on the 2nd.
Yeah. Also, the All-Star Game complete sets came out. I saw those being sold at the Topps booth when I was there, and I'm seeing them sold on the Target and stuff like that. $60 for the complete set, and I think you get some All-Star Game inserts or something like that along that. Those run about $60. The 2023 Topps Chrome jumbos are running for about $300. I think I last saw on Blowout. About 150 for the regular hobby boxes, and blasters, I want to say 25 on Target.
I'm on Cardboard Connection right now, and the guesstimated price for hobbies is $158.
Okay, cool. So something amazing to look forward to there. Yeah, I'm going right into product reviews because I want to just keep talking about how all these things I saw open this week. Let's go. Boom. So like I said, Topps Chrome, amazing. I did see some openings of the 2023 Panini Prism. It like it's been with Panini products so far this year. It's just not, it's beautiful looking cards, but the no active players is just making it just for me. Now, if they drop the price some, it might be worth it because Panini Prism, I mean, they are nice looking cards, and they do have some nice numbered stuff, some nice parallels, some fun stuff to chase in there. All the animals. You got
at least you get some of the greats.
Yeah, yes,
if you can't get that active, folks, at least you got some of those vets and those Hall of Famers that you grew up watching. So that's a plus.
So I'm gonna look and see what it's currently selling for right now. That's the thing I think that really got me in the end. There was the price, because it's Panini Prism. We always think of a kind of a premium on that.
Yeah.
But it, like I said, with what they're doing with baseball this year, it's just not. I don't know. I know I'm a grump about it. I can't get excited about it, but.
So I'm looking at it now. The Prism Baseball, a hobby box is going for about $145.
$145. Does it have the info on there? How many packs, cards per pack, things like that?
Here. So a hobby box averages about 3 autos, 8 parallels, and 12 inserts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's a 300 card base checklist.
Okay.
And I'm trying to see if it actually has the breakdown.
Here, Battle. Let me throw this up real quick. Give everybody a look-see here, because it does have nice looking stuff here. So you should get 4 silvers per box. There's a nice Matsaki Yoshida there. That's who's actually a rookie, but you must, I'm sure Ellie's going to be in there. I did see there's a Bobby Witt rookie card in this. So I don't know what the actual rules are for that, but I mean, look at these cards. They're cool looking. Maybe if I see a blaster of it somewhere, I might check it out. This is kind of a fun insert here. What is this? Magna. I don't think that's a color blaster Magna, but Future Pot, second to none.
No,
I don't know.
Cal Ripken is the manga insert.
Is it okay? Like, okay, this is what people are really going to be looking for right here. Anything Ellie De La Cruz, because he's just unbelievable right now, and his cards are just to the moon right now. So there's going to be a lot of good prospects in here too. Ooh, there we go. They got me with the Mark McGuire.
Yep, there goes your legends.
Yes. Always left some cracked ice looking stuff. So
okay, so here's the breakdown right here. It's 12 cards per pack, 12 packs per box.
So pretty typical for Panini Prism. It, like I said, I might pick up a blaster or two if they do retail on this. Maybe getting a break if somebody I love is breaking it, but
yeah,
just not. I'm not excited about anything Panini this year as far as baseball goes. So that's what we got going on that. I did see some of it ripped, and you get your total Panini Prism feel for it and everything. It's tough when you're like looking for Adley Rushmans and Anthony Volpe and stuff like that. So that's what we got cooking with that there. All right, guys, I want to get right to hobby news because that is where our special guest is coming in. You ready, boss?
Well, we still got to do a top 5.
Oh, I was doing the top 5 after I was going to do the top 5 after the hobby news, but
okay, we can do that.
Okay, here we go.
We can do that.
All right, guys. In the hobby
ready?
news today, we have got special guest, the one, the only, Nati from Hit Seekers.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
We are fantastic. How are you?
I'm great. Card show today. We ran our first card show in Cincinnati area. It was better than expected, and now we're just looking forward to the national. So it's been great.
All right, Nati. For those that don't know who you are and what you do, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about Hit Seekers and things of that nature.
Sure. So they call me Natty. My real name is Matt, but everybody calls me Natty. It's a long story. Won't get into that. So I am the operations manager here at Hit Seekers Sports Cards in Northern Kentucky. We're the modern card shop of the greater Cincinnati area. So when you walk in, if you're looking for the value bins, the millions of white boxes, you won't find those here. You might find a small set of them, not a million of them. We pretty much cater with slabs, hobby packs, blaster pack, like whatever, wax galore. But then on top of that, we have a huge footprint in the virtual space on Loop. We dabbled on Whatnot, but Loop's kind of our forever home thus far. And so we're full bore on that. But yeah, we opened our brick and mortar about a year ago, and we've been doing breaks and things like that for now, I think 3 years. So it's been a whirlwind.
Very cool. Very cool. I've been in a few of the breaks and stuff on Loop. It's a lot of fun. Kind of a similar Whatnot feel to it, but this is strictly like hobby shops and yeah. I want to say legit, pre-approved people. So Loop, Loop is a cool place to check out. I would definitely check out Hit Seekers on there. The biggest thing right now, we brought Nati on because we wanted to talk about the whole feel with the whole Fanatics thing and the hobby shops and the breakers and stuff like that. But also this happened to line up perfectly with the national as well. They got a lot of things. Hit Seekers is gonna have a presence at the national with a lot of different things this week. So I'm gonna be looking at in the comments today here on YouTube, and if you guys have any questions. But basically, we wanted to start off with the whole Fanatics thing, and how are things feeling so far? I know it's still fresh and new, but how are things feeling with the whole transition of fanatics and hobby shops, fanatics and breakers, and
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I might be in the minority here when it comes to other individuals within the hobby. I like the transition. I think that it's going to be better for the hobby long term, because despite what some of the, call them influencers, if you will, kind of grabbing their pitchforks and rallying the troops behind them, Fanatics cares about the hobby shop. They want the hobby shop. They're going very community driven in that regard. In the past, it's kind of just been like you have your distributors. Now Fanatics is the distributor. So they're cutting out that second man, third man, whatever, and they're going straight to the hobby shop. It creates more of a level playing field as opposed to kind of what people call the good old boys network of you've had a hobby shop for 40 years, you're going to get some product. If you've just been here for a year, you're going to get a box. If you want anything else, you're going to pay me above market price and then hope you get something later down the line. I think that's beneficial for the hobby shop, but it's also beneficial for the consumer because as a customer, you walk into a hobby shop, prices are everywhere. If everybody has the same entry point, you're going to see more stable prices for boxes, at least from a hobby. I mean, if you go third, aftermarket, whatever, that's going to still exist. But hobby shops aren't going to have to pay 4x the cost of, allocated goods. And so you should get a cheaper product. So that should let more people be able to get what they want as opposed to, being left out in the cold because, okay, my shop got one box, somebody beat me to it, and now they have nothing. So I like it. I think it's great. Everything that I've heard and been told, there's a clear divide between your breaker and your hobby shop. So like we at Hitseekers, we have both avenues. I'm sitting in the brick and mortar right now. So we have the hobby shop, but we also have our virtual presence. There are two different paths for that. So if you exist in both of those areas, then you can be a part of both those areas. If you are only a hobby shop with no intentions of breaking, that's fine. There's a path for that. If you're only a breaker, there's a path for that. Basically what I kind of get the vibe that they're kind of trying to cut out is that kind of third party that goes and gets the products, charges 4x for them, and people buy into it type of a deal. And just kind of say, hey, you want the goods? We'll give you the goods. We'll help you out where we can.
Because it's kind of like a whole bunch of like inner circles type things going on amongst some of the LCSs. And there was a rumor going out, and it was spread through YouTube that I think it was 80 to 90% of the LCSs will be shut down in 2 years.
Yeah, see, I think that yes, there will be some fallout. I don't necessarily attribute that to this Topps Fanatics merger or sell or whatever. I think that was always going to happen. In 2020, the card market exploded. You had people going out filing LLCs. They were buying hobby shops. They were setting up brick and mortars with no clear path forward. Right. I think those will be the ones that'll go first. Any conversation that I've had, that anybody with our leadership teams have had, they've all been positive in terms of like Fanatics wants the hobby shop to live and breathe. Like they want to go direct to consumer, but they also want to be able to have, a kid and his dad walk in your hobby shop and get a fantastic experience. I mean, a lot of people are scared about it, but nothing is really solid enough to really, in my opinion, to get up in arms about. I think people are kind of just freaked out, and I don't think that it's warranted. I think that the breakers are going to exist. I think some of the breakers that you're going to see fall off will. I don't even know that that's going to matter that much. Like the ones that you're going to see kind of fall are the ones that probably didn't have allocation anyway. Like a small breaker wasn't getting allocation from GTS. They weren't a part of Peach State or Gold River or any of those places. So I don't know that it's necessarily going to impact them. You're still going to have your breaker. Like there's nothing in any of the documentation that I've seen that says like you can't go to Target and buy 20 blasters and then run a break with it. Like they're not going to grab their pitchfork, come to your door and SWAT team your house. Like that's not going to happen.
Right.
It's and for everything that I see is like the old distribution model sucks. Like it wasn't great. They didn't give you a pamphlet and say, hey, you spend X, you get Y. It was like, hey, you buy my products, I might hook you up with something, but I'm going to hold some back so that I can sell it to you at market value. And it's like, who is that helping?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, if I'm buying from a distributor, I want to be able to give it to a customer. If I have to pay more, I'm going to have to charge more. And then the customers, that sucks for them.
Yeah.
Like who's winning in here besides the distributor? So I think that a lot of people are scared about it, and I don't see anything that's ran me or even kind of alarmed me to the point where I'm like, this is gonna be bad.
So in your experiences with your LCS, aside from Fanatics cutting out distributors or middlemen, is there anything that you have noticed that Fanatics is doing above and beyond, or anything relative to that is supporting you guys?
So I will tell you that point blank, at least from our perspective, the customer service piece blows anything that existed in the past with any distributor out of the water. If you wanted something from a distributor and it didn't show up, they're like, too bad. I mean, it'll be there eventually, I guess. With Topps, it's like, hey, we had 5 additional cases of tribute coming. What's going on? Like, they're putting forth the effort to say, okay, well, something happened. It's a very rough edge right now, because I mean, you're thinking Topps global conglomerate, and then you have Fanatics, their own whole thing. They're trying to merge these two things together, and there's going to be hiccups. So you kind of have to take that with a grain. But at the end of the day, any of the customers, anytime that we've had any issue, hey, we got boxes that didn't have autos in them. They're like, we got you. We'll take care of you. We'll do what we can. Like, they respond. The responses are incredible compared to like whenever we go to Topps and say, hey, like this box you sent us, all the cards were bent. What are you going to do about it? They're like,
man.
What do you want to do? What do you want us to do? So, I mean, I think that I think that from a consumer perspective, like, I'm a part of a hobby shop, but I'm also a collector. And from what I'm seeing is like, I'm going to have the opportunity outside of this hobby shop to go and get those products. So to me, that's interesting. Like, how many people do you know that live in some place in America where there just isn't a hobby shop? Like, if you want something, you've got to go to Blowouts. You've got to go to all these places. If I have the opportunity to go to Topps directly, then that kind of changes things. I'm like, all right, if I want Topps Chrome, I'll have an opportunity to get it. That's awesome. Yeah. The question mark, I think the people that need to kind of be more thoughtful about it are your big global retailers, like your Blowouts, your Dave and Adams. I think they probably have a lot more concerns because they're global entities. And like, our documentation was basically like, look, if we're going to send you this stuff, you can't sell it online. You can't put it for pre-sale. You can't do that. It is a Wednesday release. They want it, they come in the shop. So it's like, so what about those guys? I mean, I don't know. I don't have a dog in that fight, so I haven't really investigated it too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, what happens to those kinds of guys if they can't sell it online and they don't have a physical retail space all across America? Does that hurt them? Maybe. But I mean, I've heard nothing but supportive messages from Fanatics that's like, hey, we want to support you. We want you to thrive, and whatever we can do to help, like, let us know. And
there's been a whole, like, there was a couple of episodes previously. We actually brought that documentation that Fanatics had put out to everybody. And I know one of the big things that stuck out was your hobby shop has to be able to house in-house breaks. I don't know many LCSs that have that capability.
Right. I think we're in the minority there. Like, literally, he's breaking directly behind this wall right now. We run on loop 18 hours a day. And then Fanatics Live starts up. We'll have 2 different studios running probably. From what that I was kind of given, kind of not under the table, but kind of through the grapevine told through some conversations, was that like some of that came out before it was ready. And like the hobby shop, if you have no intentions of breaking, like that's fine. Like they're still going to support you. They still want you to thrive. But if you have the capability, like that's just kind of a double dip. Like, okay, that's fine. We'll push this to you as well. And nothing that they've said, and at least in any conversation I've been, has led me to believe that like if you don't have that qualification, that capability, that they're going to be like, well, adios. Like this is a new era. You know, no more dungeon type card shops. I think that a lot of it is very vague. I'll be honest with that. I think that a lot of it's very vague, and I don't know that I don't anticipate Fanatics sitting with some group of cronies that are just like searching the internet for people that are breaking the rules. Yeah. I think that those are there to kind of say, hey, like we've given you this and you've done it this other way. Like, no, if you want to go that route, then go that route, but don't. I don't know. There's a lot of question marks still, but I think they're still trying to find their way in a space that they've not really been. And I think that they've kind of viewed the way that Topps has done it in the past as being the wrong way. I mean,
now is there any change with the allocation process?
So the box is falling over here. So from we're actually seeing more than what we had seen in the past, and I think that's where a younger hobby shop is going to see more success than maybe that good old boys group that was like, hey, I was already getting 40 cases and now I'm only going to get 10 from Topps. Well, that's okay. Like, how are you selling them anyway? Like, were you stockpiling them? What were you doing? But it's opening the door for some of these younger shops to be able to exist. I mean, the hobby is alive, and there's a different flavor for each person. So being able to, like, day one, us say, hey, we might say, hey, we want 20 cases of Topps Chrome, and they're going to go, all right, we'll be able to give you 10. But down the line, we'll open the doors and say, hey, if you need more, let us know. We'll get it.
But there's caveats to that though, as well, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, right now, the next big thing is Topps Chrome. I believe somewhere along the lines, I read where, okay, you want 10 cases of Topps Chrome, you need to go ahead and take these 15 cases of opening day, knowing they don't sell in your area.
So I'll be honest, we've not experienced that.
Okay.
They've not hit us with that kind of ultimatum of like, hey, if you want the goods, you take the bads. It was just kind of like, hey, this is what's coming out. Here's what we'll give you. Do you want it? And we say, yeah. Now, granted, 9 times out of 10, regardless of what they say, do you want, we're taking, because somehow we'll move it. I mean, our shop is pretty active, from your 7-year-old collector to your 90-year-old collector. And we have people for a flavor for each person. And there's people that come in and they will not touch a Chrome product. It doesn't matter what it is or how cheap it is. They only want heritage. They only want opening day. They only want big league. That's what they like. And that's fine. But yeah, I've not had them say, hey, if you want 10 cases, we've got this on the backlog. You're going to have to take some of this too.
Yeah.
They've not hit us with that. So if that's happening, it's at least not happening to us. So I guess that's
kind of nice to hear. A lot of the things you're saying is nice to hear, like good customer service, and that right there. That's awesome. That's awesome. I feel like we talked about like kind of the only negative so far, which to me is to be expected, is just the glitches on any, Fanatics Live, things of that nature. It's just working out the glitches of, the tech side of things. But it seems like, knock on wood, like Fanatics is just putting in a strong effort to make the hobby better.
I think the only thing that was a little weird to me, like not necessarily for hit seekers, but I think weird to kind of require a hobby shop to do, was post on social media. Which, to be completely honest, if you're not at least in some way, shape, or form on social media in 2023, promoting your brand and your shop and the things that you're doing, you're probably failing anyway.
Yeah.
But them saying like, hey, Jim Bob, you've had a shop for 60 years. I'm gonna need you to post on social media. Like
Yeah,
requiring
that
him
was
to do that
another
was a little
thing. There
weird.
was requirements for that too. Like you got to make
Yep.
12 postings a year or something along those lines. Like I know out here in Central Florida, there's a couple of LCSs that are ran strictly with retail products, and they're marked up drastically.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking those are going to be the ones that's not going to make it 2 years from today.
Right. I mean, and see, that's kind of where I think you're going to see some hobby shops kind of fall. Is that the margins that you're driving, they may be reduced, but the caveat to that is you're going to have access to the product. So if you're doing things right, you'll be able to get products in people's hands, as opposed to like, all right, like I'll be completely honest. There's a guy logo. I'm not going to name shops or whatever, but I've witnessed it. I've been there where they go to like buyers, one of the stores that are around here, and they clean the shelf. He sends 3 cronies in, they clean the shelf, they take it back to the hobby shop, they put a 300% price tag on it, and that's if you want it, you got to go there and get it. Like, I hate that. That makes me crazy because hobby boxes aren't for everybody. Like we have retail here that we go get it third party or whatever, so that we have it to offer. But like you're taking that out of somebody else's hands so that you can 300% it. Like that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
So I think you might see some of those start to fall off, which to me that's fine. Like
it's a good thing.
So long.
If you're that guy, hit the road.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Awesome. All right, Nati, thank you for giving us all the deets on the Fanatics. If anybody else has questions here that's with us live on YouTube, let us know in the chat. But I also want to hear some more about the national and what you got cooking with that.
I'm so excited about the national.
Yeah.
I had to miss Atlantic City because of that virus that was going around. It floored me for the national. I missed it. Atlantic City, so I didn't get to experience the glory that was Atlantic City. Obviously, I'm a Cubs fan, so I'm excited about Chicago. Love Chicago. So we are actually going to be set up. So if you're going to the National, come see me. Come say, hey, what's up? Whatever. We're going to have some free stuff to give away, things like that. We're going to be at 1323. We're like a row back from the PSA booth. So if you find the PSA booth, you can find me. I'm going to be right there. So we're in the Breaker Pavilion. That was the only way we could get in, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. So we're going to be breaking from the National Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 Central till 6 p.m. Central each day. And I've been working extremely hard trying to put some really interesting events for people that can't go. Like, my thought is, what is the National? How do you capture this in some sort of an event, and how do you turn that into a virtual thing for people that couldn't fork over the money to go, they couldn't get off work, whatever, to go to the National? And so I am jacked about these events. Like a lot of thoughts gone into them. But we're gonna actually start off Thursday with a signed and slabbed event. So like at the National, one of the things some people just go there for is the autograph signings. Like, I want to get a card signed, I want to get a jersey signed, whatever. So we've compiled. I want to say it's around 50 or 60 like on-card autos for various players: Julio, Wander Franco, Trevor Lawrence, all the way to some older vets that maybe you just haven't seen. It's an on-card auto. Like, think kind of like through the mail type stuff, but then also like, hey, I went to got this autograph, this card signed. They're all slabbed and authenticated, so it's not like, hey, this is old Jimmy Joe signed this in the back and here you go. It's kind of like Trevor Lawrence. It's like it's a BGS or PSA authenticated. So that's gonna be what we're gonna start off with, and I'm super excited about it. Those events are incredibly fun. But we've got just box wars on tap. We run a hit pack with only PSA and 9s. It's kind of like a mystery pack, but it's a market value. So hey, this is the value. It's either $100 or better, and it's a baseball card, but you don't know who it's going to be. So it's kind of like an interesting element. So that's kind of like our flagship. Those do incredibly well on Loop. What else do we have? We've got one of the ones that I'm actually excited about because I grew up like Saturday morning cartoons. I would get a bowl of cereal and I'd sit there and I'd just watch cartoons. Like, that was my thing. So on Saturday morning at 10 Central, we're going to go live. We have 90 graded Charizards. all
Cool.
over the board in terms of grade. But it's kind of like that thought of, hey, I'm gonna rip a box of cereal. There's a prize inside of this cereal.
Yeah.
What's it gonna be? So hey, you're gonna get a Charizard. You're gonna get something free, and then there's also I think we're doing 5 bigger Charizards that are gonna be like a golden ticket chase. So you get a graded Charizard, you get a free something. Who knows? It might be a pack or free grading submission. Who knows what it is? And then maybe you get the golden ticket, and then you take home the biggest Charizard of the whole bunch. So it's kind of just a Saturday morning cartoon vibe, which is kind of
Awesome.
cool. But yeah, we've got so much going on. It's literally going to be every 4 hours we're changing events. It's just going to be crazy. I don't even know how to wrap my head around it. So
Okay.
Nice. Awesome.
So now, if you had a group that was actually going to y'all's booth for a break event, how are y'all doing anything along the lines of if somebody wanted to slab a massive hit that you pulled for them?
So we're gonna have one of the caveats with the National is that PSA is right there.
Yeah,
I think Beckett's there too. I think they're there, but I know PSA is right in front of us. So we have a bunch of wax. We're gonna have Topps Chrome. We're gonna have some other very interesting products that are kind of rolling through. We went out and got some immaculate football. We're trying to get some Sterling baseball to take with us. So some really interesting stuff to break from the National. But yeah, you hit a big card and you're like, hey, I want that slabbed up now. There's walk-in service. So that's something that we're just gonna have that conversation. Hey, you want that graded? Yeah, we'll send somebody over there. Hey, go take that to grading. So you get it graded really quick.
Yeah.
But that's also something that we offer on our streams and in our shop as a perk already.
right.
So if you break with us on Loop and you hit a big card, or if you hit a card that you just like and you want it graded, we'll take all the guesswork out of it. We're going to send it to PSA for you. When it comes back, we're going to send you an invoice that says, hey, here's how much the grading costed, and we're going to ship it to you. And
Awesome.
so you don't even got to worry about it. So that's been extremely successful. We actually as a hobby shop were granted PSA direct access, which they kind of quit doing, which was kind of interesting to see. They're like, yeah, if you want to do group subs, that's fine. We're going to trial by fire you, make sure you can do it right. And we're like, let's go. We send out 600 plus cards a week. So it's we need to be able to have a direct line to you. So let's go.
Yeah. This is awesome. I ain't gonna lie. So I was debating on going to the National this year, and I went for the All-Star game instead. And I'm a little jealous, excited for people that are going, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, it just sounds like, some people are like, oh, things are overpriced and this and that. But I'm not gonna lie, right now, listening to the work you're putting into it and all the things you have set up, now I'm super jealous, and I wish I was gonna be there. But I almost can be in a way, because you're setting up stuff for people that can't be there too. So I'm pretty pumped. We do have some people in the chat in our community that are going to the National. So I hope you guys are listening to this. Definitely check out Hit Seekers. He's going to be close to the PSA.
What booth he was again in, Natty?
Yeah, what's that number?
We are, let me pull it back up, make sure I'm right. We are 1323. 1323. And actually, if you hop onto to our Instagram, just Hit Seekers Sports Cards, we've actually dropped a post that has our schedule of events that shows all the events we're doing. So if you're like, hey, I'm not a cartoon guy, I'm not interested in Charizard, I'm gonna have sports listed. If you want sports, I got sports. If you want baseball, I have Topps Chrome listed. But you can go in and see oh, okay, the 3 p.m. Thursday night one's gonna be crazy. We have, I think it was 41 or 43 2022 Transcendent baseball cards that are all graded. And that's not something that people typically grade. And when I tell you that we've got a ton that are 9s and 10s, and as we were kind of going through how much each of them are worth, it was that's criminal. That's extremely low. And it's oh, well, it is what it is. I'm like, that Otani's worth what?
In the chat, and those that are listening in or will be listening in, Transcendent happens to be one of those products that it's the caviar of the hobby.
Yeah.
It was 35,000 for a box of cards. I don't have that. I'm not going to be able to buy a box like that. But I mean, we ended up ripping 2 cases of that. We had two of the 100 that were made, and like we did them as like a group break or whatever. And we liked them so much that we went out and got more of the cards because like those cards are beautiful.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I don't think that like eBay appreciates them enough because like they're gorgeous.
Nice.
But yeah.
So I got a question in the comments here. I'm gonna try to generalize as best as I can. Like, what's the best seller you got in the shop? Cards. Like, I'm gonna guess product is what they mean by that. What sells the best out of the shop?
With kind of the economic downturn that we've kind of been seeing over the last 8 months, things that are more affordable, like baseball cards, has quadrupled any other product. Like baseball cards are the prime focus, like 10-1 baseball. We had 10 cases of Topps Finest. We sold 10 cases of Topps Finest on release day. Like it's baseball cards, which Finest, beautiful product. Like I love that product. If I had to pick one product from Topps that had to just stay, like Topps Finest, that's it. Like that product was insane. But yeah, it's baseball cards. It's baseball cards, and then the additional thing would be we sell more baseball sealed wax, but we sell more football slabs, which is kind of weird that they don't line up with each other. But yeah, it doesn't matter what the baseball product is. Like, there's not a single product that I can point to and say like that's the one. It's baseball cards.
They all bring their own little thing to the table, really.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
I mean, you were talking about Allen and Ginter. Like, that's one of the shop favorites. Like, our owner, that's his thing. Like, Allen and Ginter, that's his product. Every time he buys a case of it, he sits there and he rips it with his family, and that's his thing. He loves Allen and Ginter.
Oh my God, I love that story.
So that's his thing. That and Bowman. So I love Bowman too. So I can't, that is what it is. But it's just baseball cards. And I think it's because, like, you look at Topps Chrome and you say, okay, a Topps Chrome hobby box, $150, whatever, $160, whatever it comes out to be. If I wanted to go get a similar football product, I'm paying $800, $900. Like, for what exactly? Like, it just, baseball feels better, I think, in terms of like what you're getting out of it. Even if you have a bad box, $200 isn't that bad. If I spend $1,000 and my box is trash, like that is bad. But baseball cards, I mean, it's I think people are really invigorated by baseball. I think the pitch clock change helped. I think people are watching more baseball now. It's faster.
It's new.
People are picking. Yeah, you've got these young guys. You've got Ellie De La Cruz. You've got, Matt. Like, the Reds are phenomenal to watch. I'm a Cubs fan, and I watch every Reds game because these guys are just electric. And then you got Ohtani that's still breaking records that haven't been broken since 1900s. Like, it's baseball is, dare I say, fun again? Like, it's
definitely.
I took my 9 and 7-year-old up to Wrigley, and then we went up to American Family in Milwaukee. We watched 2 games, and I think they had more fun at those 2 baseball games than they've had at any Bengals game we've went to. And
oh my God, yes, I love it.
I think baseball is coming back with a vengeance, guys. Like, it's there. Like, it's hot.
Yeah, very cool, very cool, awesome. Well, man, thank you so much, Natty, for hanging out with us. Keep hanging out with us. We're gonna do our top 5 here in a second, and some banter, and I'd love to hear your opinions on stuff.
As I was kind of hanging out in the back, I was listening to you talk about Prism. One of the things, like, we've opened a lot of Prism baseball. I can't validate this. I've looked on eBay, and it looks to be true on eBay, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think the only rookie badge in all of Prism baseball is Bobby Witt Jr.
Really?
Yeah.
I have scoured the internet looking for other rookie cards with rookie badges from Prism baseball. The only one I can find is Bobby Witt Jr., who wasn't even a rookie in 23.
Exactly. Yeah. I saw somebody pull it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So
we opened a box here, and it was like, Bobby, did I grab the wrong box? What is this? And I was like, no. And that's all the guys like Yoshida, like, they don't have rookie badges. I'm like, what is that? So it's very
not right about that.
What's the so if you open what's the feel you got for Panini Prism this year? Like, how are you feeling about it?
So I'll be completely transparent. I'm not super big into unlicensed baseball in terms of like I liked 3 and 2. I thought 3 and 2 was a well done product.
Yeah.
But it's just something about it. Like when I pull the Cubs card and I've got to look and be like, is this a Cub or is this a White Sox? I can't really.
Yeah, because the
tell.
uniforms
Like,
throw you off.
Yeah.
Right. It throws you off. Or you pull New York, you're like, I don't know if that's the Mets or the Yankees. Like, I don't recognize this guy. I think it's super vet heavy. I think it's a very fun set. And unlike Prism football or Prism basketball, you're not paying that super high premium that you pay for those products.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be better, obviously, but the parallels are cool. We had a box, like a guy ended up hitting a Noelvi Marte and a Jordan Walker auto out of the same box. So, like, the
That's
autos
nice.
are still autos of some really cool players.
Yeah.
But it's like one of the guys in the shop, we had a kid came up, him and dad bought a box, and he ended up pulling Cool Papa Bell to like 49. And the kid looks at me like, who is that? I'm like, well, you see,
Yeah.
like his dad's like, that's the same picture they use every time. And I'm like, well, that's because there's not a ton of pictures of Cool Papa Bell out there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a fun rip. But I kind of just like my personal collecting. Like I need that license. Like,
I mean, the designs are great.
Yeah.
Love the designs.
Absolutely.
It just kills me that, you got to play guessing games on what team this person belongs to and the plain Jane uniforms. And no.
Yeah. I mean, you open a Prism baseball box and you pull an Ellie De La Cruz auto right now, you're paid.
Yeah.
You're paid. It doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
like we had the card show today. Ellie De La Cruz Onyx autos were selling for like $400 or $500. That is a $40 box. And that auto was selling for like $400 or $500.
Yeah.
Like
Damn. That's a good day. That's a good day.
It doesn't matter if it's licensed or not. You pull him, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of don't like it.
Nice. Awesome. All right, Natty. Thank you so very much. We're gonna get into our top 5. Would you like to hang out for our top 5?
I will hang out.
Our top 5 is kind of funny this week, but you'll understand why once I get through it. All right, guys. Let's get that top 5. We're gonna start with number 5 here. See if you can guess it. All right, guys, we get our top 5 from the whole Sports Card Investor app. We like to use it because they break it down for sales and stuff like that. And what we've got for number 5 here, as you saw, was the Shohei Ohtani rookie card. Let's see. Number 5 was, wow, it's, you know what? I think it's already changed from my list. Which one just popped up? It was the Topps Chrome.
The first one that pops up is the Bowman.
Was the Bowman one?
Yeah.
It's already changed since I did my list. So I don't know what the sales were on that one. So at any rate, let me show you number 4 and we'll get more into it. Here we go. Right. Shohei Ohtani Heritage rookie card. That I do have the info for. 7 days. The last 7 days, it's been up 12.5%. 30 days, 47.7%. You guys, if I've got new people listening, anything, baseball right now, Shohei Ohtani, we are just watching historical things happen right now. I mean, this is the time where people get more into the sport, I feel like, because things are happening right now that we might not ever see again.
I mean, the last time something like this happened, we're talking the Babe Ruth era.
Yeah. It's just something special. I get goosebumps thinking about it. Like, if you don't have anything to do with baseball, check out Shohei Ohtani, and I swear it's going to change your mind because he is just nothing short of amazing. And my biggest thing right now, I'm so curious, so interested in watching to see if and when he gets traded, where he's going, things like that. If he's gonna, I'm just like every day I'm checking Shohei Ohtani news because it's like the number one thing I'm thinking about as far as baseball goes these days, even more than Bo Bichette, believe it or not.
Well, just so you know, Ohtani and Yankees go great in the same sentence.
Yeah, so did the San Francisco Giants. So just throwing it out there. Let me show you number 3 here. The rookie debut card is number 3. Makes sense to me because I'm going to guess that is a more affordable Shohei Ohtani.
It is.
All right. Last 7 days, it's up 1.8%. Last 30 days, 22.6%.
Last sale happened actually yesterday for a PSA 10, 183.50.
So, which not bad for a PSA rookie card of Shohei Ohtani. Not a bad price. So, okay. Are you guys starting to see a theme with the top 5? That's why we were joking around with it today. Ohtani Bowman card. Was that number 5 too? Was that the same one?
I think 5 was the flagship.
Yeah.
Was a flat. Okay, so see now I'm showing now on Market Movers that's the card that I just did number 2 is showing up as number 1. Weird, but it happens. Last 7 days, 1.9%. Last 30 days, 46.6% increase. Insane. Roughly selling raw around the $35 range.
Yeah, the last sale happened yesterday for $205.
PSA 10?
PSA 10.
Sheesh. All right. Can you guys guess what number 1 is? Let's get it. And that's the 2018 Topps Series 2. I want to say a true rookie. This first rookie card of the rookie cards is number 1, or it was. Now it's number 2. Don't let me confuse you. But last 7 days, a 9.2% increase. Last 30 days, 60.7% increase. Raw going around the $45 to $50 range.
But if you a baller and you got PSA 10 money, the last one sold yesterday for $238.
You guys, I'm hoping we have Shohei Ohtani stuff stashed away if we want Shohei Ohtani stuff. If you have,
well, it's kind of funny because I actually sold both my PSA 9 Ohtanis.
Yeah.
So they don't command as much, but
I know. I know. Did you have to take $100 instead of $200? No, but you know, guys, I mean, I want to say it's not really a time to buy Shohei Ohtani, but if you can't, but at the same time, I'm like, man, if he keeps doing this stuff, it might only go up. I'm holding on to mine just because a lot of them I pulled myself. They're special to me. The effect he has on baseball right now, with how much I love baseball, I'm hanging on to him. But if you've got some Ohtanis that you're not super fond of, it's not a bad time to unload them if you're looking for
and
more.
Again, don't take our word
money
for it, okay? Because we're not professionals at this. We're just giving our own personal opinions.
Yeah, I just said for more card money. That's it. You want to buy some more cards? You want to try open some stuff up? Maybe do that. Just an idea. So that's our top 5. Yeah, that's our top 5, guys. Shohei Ohtani to the moon. Like, okay, so I know previous weeks when there's been the same player or more than one cards, we like try to mix it up and put different players in. Like the top 20 cards were all Shohei Ohtani cards. Like, so, you know, some other top cards I'm sure that are out there, especially with Chrome coming out. Corbin Carroll is going to be on that list because he's just insane right now.
Ellie's going to be on that list.
Ellie's, of course, going to be on that list. So that right now, as far as card sales go, Shohei Ohtani is all over the place, and rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
All right, guys, we're about to get into my favorite segment of the podcast. It's banter time. We're just gonna,
before we go through that, we still got to run through our
trivia. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. You guys, it's time for baseball card trivia. I don't remember who won 2 weeks ago and who's on our website right now.
I think the last time I checked, we still had W Vogs on there.
No, somebody else went on there, didn't they? At any rate, tonight, if you guess it right, we give you shouts out in the podcast. We put you up on the website for a week, try to get you some subscribers and things of that nature. It's time for trivia. First person that gets it right in the comments will win. Here we go. And trivia time.
We actually got a winner.
We got a winner. Do you have Huddle card collection?
I do have Huddle.
Huddle card collection. Awesome. Congratulations. Actually, I'm going to get him monetized real quick. Oops. I'm going to try. Huddle card collection also runs a podcast every Wednesday on his channel called Collecting. Oh man, I can't remember the name. Oh, you guys, let me get him monetized here. So for those of you on YouTube that are watching, you can sub him up and check it out. Awesome channel, fun stuff, super nice guy. Is it gonna end my car? I just
threw his channel link in the chat. So be sure to hit him up if you have not.
So congratulations,
Collecting for Profit.
Collecting for Profit. That's what it is. Awesome. I know he's been trying to get us on this channel, but with me working nights he does it on Wednesday nights. I haven't, but it's going to happen. I'm going to call in sick one of these days to do it for sure. It's going to happen.
Call in lazy.
That's like my favorite thing to do. So congratulations, Fred Lynn. Oh my God. We didn't say what the question was. For those of you that are listening and not watching on your favorite podcast format, the question was, who is the only outfielder for the Boston
Red Sox
that has won an MVP award?
No, it was a Rookie of the Year award.
My apologies. Rookie of the Year award, and it's Fred Lynn, and that was 1975.
We're talking back in 1975.
Yeah. So I didn't know that whenever you send these to me, I always try to guess, and I thought maybe it was Mookie Betts. I was wrong. But he played for the outfield for the Red Sox as a rookie, right? So, but I didn't remember. So, anyways, the bubble stash is starting to kick in. So here we go. Let's get on to my favorite part of the podcast, the baseball card banter. All right, guys, I've got so many fun things to talk about this week. They're not fun things, to be honest with you. But these things happen in the hobby, and we're talking about it to help guide you in your hobby collecting experiences. Something that I have been tracking and following, which some of you may or may not have been this past week, on Sports Card Radio, an awesome YouTube channel. I like them. And also Dan the Card Man. We're talking about something that popped up on Reddit, of all places. I'm going to guess a little over a month ago now. Somebody posted on Reddit saying, these were gifted from a friend. I have no idea what they were worth, what they're worth. 2022 Bowman Chrome autograph cards and 2023 Topps Chrome. This came up about a month ago. Topps Chrome comes out next week. There's some of it starting to be open on some channels now, but And they were autograph cards, and some of them were autograph cards with no autos on them. So that was on there. That obviously lit up a lot of, curiosity for several people, because it's like, what is this? What are these doing here? So, and then in case you guys don't know, if Sports Card Radio and Dan the Card Man get a hold of this stuff, they're going to investigate and bring you the straight up what they see. Some people say they're being negative. I honestly think they're positive. They're trying to help people avoid situations like bad situations. So these cards came out way before, some with no autos on them. As I'm going to link these videos in the description, because this is something I want everybody to be aware of. So these cards come up. Some have autos, some don't. And then some of the alleged missing autos end up at PSA graded. One of the actual baseball players whose card was allegedly taken or whatever, the card gets graded, and that guy goes on and says, hey, that's not my autograph, and it's graded by PSA, and things of that nature are going on. So it just begs the question, is like, did Topps know about this? Are they working on it? Are these cards that were taken or stolen, which allegedly, because I don't know anything for fact, allegedly by some college kids in Arizona, Topps hires contractors to get these autos and things sometimes, just for your information. And allegedly they stole them. I don't know anything for certain or for truth, but this is the stuff that's been, reported. So, but the fact is, I know Sports Card Radio, or at least Dan the Card Man, has contacted Topps, and we get like nothing, just radio silence.
Right.
And it's like, to me, it's like, okay, things happen. If cards were stolen and stuff of that nature, like, I don't understand. I don't understand the no response. Now, I know Mr. Fuego's got a slightly different, respectable opinion, but it's like, why can't you say, like, we're investigating this or something? Because now it's like, so are these numbered autoed cards are they not available in the product that I'm opening now? Did you replace them? Are you not replacing them? What's the situation on that? Now, Mr. Fuego, please let us know what your opinions on. And Nati, since you're here, I'd love to hear yours too.
Now, my thing is, and this has probably happened outside of the hobby, but if anything, for example, if you take a company and something goes terribly wrong internally, okay, the routine thing that said company is going to end up doing, if they're going to do it, is start up an investigation. Now, we all know how fast rumor gets out before anything comes from the horse's mouth. So if anything, Topps and anybody else that's actually involved with this issue, they're not going to want to say anything. But I do agree with the fact, at a very minimum, they should have went ahead and made some statement, whether it's through Twitter, email, whatever, saying, we understand that there's an issue going on with said product, or whatever the case may be. It is currently being under investigation right now. The more as we find things out, we will go ahead and handle them accordingly, and we'll go ahead and bring it out to the public. Okay, they didn't do that, so I can understand why everybody like Sports Card Radio, Dan the Card Man, is wondering, why is nobody saying anything? They're probably not going to say anything because either A, they're still trying to gather the facts before saying anything, or two, they just haven't found anything out yet, and they're still investigating, trying to find out exactly what happened, what went wrong, whatever the case may be. So that's just my take on it.
What do you think, Natty?
Yeah, so I kind of share the same opinion as Mr. Fuego. As someone who past lives before sports cards, and this was my career, had worked for a larger global entity, That's the way it works. If something happens behind the scenes, the amount of effort and time and energy that you have to put into a press release that says, "Hey, I'm investigating this," takes away from your actual investigation of this. And
Okay.
that's kind of the way that I kind of perceive things. I mean, you've seen this happen. I don't want to call it regularly, but outside of the baseball world, there was a Pokemon release. It was, I have a box somewhere around here. One of the boxes that came out recently, I can't remember what it was. All of the hits were pulled out by somebody at the factory, and they took them. Like, that's kind of the TLDR version of that. So, I mean, you're seeing this happen more frequently, or maybe you're just hearing about it more frequently. And that's kind of what I lean into, is that I this has probably been going on for a long time across the hobby. And everybody's got a phone now. Everybody, like, keeping people silent it ain't cheap. So you're going to hear about it. So, and now that these are popping up, you're starting to see them. That's raising flags. I mean, I really do think that, with kind of interaction that I've had about or the interactions that I've had, I don't doubt that they're investigating it, because if customer service is as high of a priority from Topps Fanatics as it is, the question mark, and the one that concerns me the most, is that I'm seeing this already. Does that mean that this unautographed card, I'm not going to get autographed cards for this guy now? If that's my guy, can I not get his autograph now? And I think they will do something to rectify that. So I don't think they'll stay silent forever, but I think right now it's we need the facts. We need to know what happened, who was involved. You know, you start throwing out any sort of vague accusation, you're gonna get lawsuits out the wazoo.
Yep.
So I think that's what they're being reserved. All eyes are on them right now, and they know that. So I don't think it's like a sweep under the rug, maybe people will forget type of situation. I think it's let's figure this out, and then we'll come out and say, hey, here's what happened.
I mean, hopefully if they do mysteriously show up, you know, we did have an issue back then with some trimmed, graded Ohtani cards, you know, and PSA doing the right thing. They deactivated those serial numbers, so now those cards don't even exist. So, I mean, and I know for a fact, a lot of people now are going above and beyond to ensure what they're pouring their hard-earned money into is legit, is acknowledged, is recognized. And I don't know about everybody else, but I'd be kind of pissed off if I spent $700-800 on a card that don't even exist anywhere.
Yeah. So yeah. So let us know. Let us know in the comments. Let us know on the website. What do you guys think about this situation? I just want them to say something. I want Topps to say something, like we're investigating it right now. Even something as broad as that. But you guys raise a lot of good points. So another fun thing. Just kidding. Sarcasm. Not fun. If you guys are fans of Chasing Cardboard, if you haven't heard of them, they're a YouTube channel. Amazing YouTube channel. They've got amazing content. They've kind of taken like the whole American Pickers format, like TV show format, and they're doing that with baseball card collections. I've been a subscriber. I was a subscriber for their channel for quite a long time. Recently, and even on a video, they went and checked out a collection, bought this collection, and in it they had some not authenticated The Rock wrestling cards in there. They decided to not get them authenticated, and they just threw them up, winging it on eBay, which fine. And the one that we saw all over Sports Card Radio and Dan the Cardman was one that's sold in an auction for $66. The buyer then sent in a picture of the card to PSA's Quick Opinion. So what this is a service that PSA offers where you can send in a as clear as you can picture of your autographed cards, autographed pictures, things that, anything autographed, and they'll give you an idea on whether or not it's going to pass authentication or not. This particular, the rock card did not, they came back saying not likely to pass authentication. So nothing set in stone, but and I'm sorry, this was with BGS. They sent this to BGS because I think eventually Sports Card Radio sent a picture to PSA, and they also agreed. That's a little further down the line there. But at any rate, once the buyer got their opinion back, they sent this info to Chasing Cardboard, which they are called Breakers Culture on eBay. Their eBay store is called Breakers Culture. And they asked for a refund. Their first response was, well, why did you bid on it? Which, as an eBay seller, somebody bid on something, they won, and now they're not paying. In all fairness, like, you get kind of annoyed, like, whatever. But basically they were like, hey, I watched your show. I trust you guys. I thought this might be real, So at any rate, they refunded the buyer and then immediately reposted it. And the way the eBay listing reads, it's like, it says auto on there. It doesn't say non-authentic, but at the same time, why would you want to, like, at that point, I would think you would change it to, this is not a real auto. Like, maybe you want the rock card. I don't know. The problem comes in that Sports Card Radio then contacted them asking a question about it, and they immediately took it off of eBay, and they're like, hey, I didn't have the warm fuzzies about this auto. Yeah. So he was like, okay, so it was basically like, why did you relist it then, or whatever? And then he was like, hey, Sports Card Radio gets in a conversation with Ty at Chasing Cardboard, and it was like, hey, I know this guy Rick that I bought the collection from. BGS and PSA don't always get it right. So that's kind of been the ongoing joke this whole week, is like, oh, I trust Rick, Rick, so further investigation shows that they sold 2 other rock cards. And I went on eBay and looked up their thing and saw these 2. They sold 2 other The Rock autos that aren't really The Rock autos, around the $70-$80 range, something of that nature. And it's like, what are you guys doing? So
that's the first indicator, a big name like Dwayne Johnson selling for less than $100.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The second thing, for all you unexperienced buyers of eBay, for something that is not authenticated and it's just like a photo, an 8x10 photo with an auto, there should be 3 letters you should be asking for. COA, which is a certificate of authenticity. Yeah. But you also got to be careful on who that particular item was authenticated by too. The 100%. Only one that I would normally go with is JSA.
Yeah, and JSA works with PSA. They're almost the same company. So at any rate, Chasing Cardboard did put up a video saying like, hey, we trusted him. I'm going to send this to PSA now. If you're on my mailing list and it comes back, we're going to give it away. If it does come back fake, we're going to give away these other cards, this whole thing. They ended up they first turned off the comments in that video because they were just getting bombarded. And now they've completely removed the video. So let us know what your guys' thoughts are on that. I know what my thoughts are. Unfortunately, I'm no longer following Chasing Cardboard because I'm not into that. So that's my route there. The last thing I want to touch on real quick in the banter, and I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about this. I did everything this week I could to not talk about this. Unfortunately, we've got somebody in our cardmunity that I'm not sure what the deal is going on with him, but Dagger Cards. I'm gonna just go ahead and show his screen real quick, and I'm hoping this is a mistake and things of that nature. But Dagger Cards, somebody that, subscriber to a lot of our channels, he's in a lot of our lives this week. He bought into some breaks this week. I've confirmed this with 2 separate YouTubers that are, in the same circle as us. And Dagger, he's been in breaks and never issues any before, but for some reason, I don't know what's going on. he got into some breaks. He hasn't paid these people, which I don't think's happened. But the biggest thing is he's not communicating with them anymore. And I've tried to reach out to him. I'm hoping everything's okay. The problem is he's posting videos still lately where he's going and buying product, and he's in lives, not commenting to us in lives, but he's commenting when there's a giveaway, multiple giveaways. I had other people try to reach out to him, ghosted. You guys, Dagger Cards, unfortunately, can't be trusted right now. If says he's in a break and he hasn't paid you yet, don't do it. I would, yeah, you guys, I'm sorry to report this, but I'm not sure what's going on, but he's not doing the right thing right now. So I hope, the
hope is he does come back on the net and does the right thing and fixes this so that we can go ahead and he could go ahead and reestablish that rapport that he has had already.
Yeah, I'm hoping this is some like mistake or something like that, but I've tried to contact him on Instagram. I was going to comment on one of his videos, but I ended up not going that route. He was in a live stream that a lot of us were in this past week that Mr. Enfuego was in too. He wasn't responding to anything there. So at any rate, not a good deal right now.
Actually are lucky enough to contact him, please convince him to do the right thing. He knows what it is. We don't want to sit here and get into details about it, but just stress to him that it is very important for him to
just communicate.
Make what's right.
Just communicate. That's it.
That's all he's got to do.
Yeah, please. So, all right, guys. That is all we have for the podcast tonight. Be sure to meet up with us very shortly, about 15 minutes or so on Mr. Enfuego's channel for the after hours chit chat. We'll talk to you more directly here on with the chat and whatnot. Natty, thank you so much. You guys definitely check out Natty Hit Seekers. I posted I pinned the comment to the website right now. That'll get you to all his info and stuff like that. If you're going to the National, go say hi. And Natty, I can't.
If you're going to the National, booth 1323.
Yeah. And
we'll be there. We'll be buzzing around. We'll be trying to hang out with people. So it's a great time. If you've never been and this is your first time, let me know. We'll show you the ropes a little bit. It can be intimidating. Don't let it intimidate you. Just have fun. Like, it's a bunch of people, introverts, extroverts, every kind of person. National's going to be phenomenal. So just have fun with it. Don't stress. It's just sports cards.
Thank you. Good words of wisdom. Natty, I'm going to send you backstage. Thank you so much, and you have a good night.
Appreciate you guys.
All right. And Mr. Enfuego, you rock, man. Thank you for a good podcast. You got anything else before we close this bad boy out?
Hope to see everybody on the after hours show where we actually get to deal with y'all more personally in the next 13 minutes or so.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of you guys commenting and different questions and stuff in the comments. I'm sorry, during the podcast, you can't really get to them, but here in the after hour show on Mr. Enfuego's channel in about 15 minutes or so, we'll be on there, answer all those questions and dive in a little deeper with you. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one.